Hi, welcome to another YouTube video. I hope you like it. In today's video, we're gonna talk about many things, but the main is about the enemy detection when the player attacks with a light attack or heavy attack. I hope you like it. Okay, the first thing we're gonna talk about is about the interfaces. How do you create an interface? Okay, so it's as simple as to go to C++ classes, you go where you want, you choose new C++ class, and in the down part, you choose Unreal interface. Okay, so we have created two interfaces. We're going to talk about the PawnCombatInterface. Okay, that is going to be an interface that is going to be used later in the function library. I'm going to talk about this later, and it's because we want to use the method getPawnCombatComponent. And if we use this interface and we add it to a normal class, we can use these methods. So it's the AbilitySystemInterface. This AbilitySystemInterface, we have been using it only to get this method, the getAbilitySystemComponent. Where? Right here in the WarriorBaseCharacter. We have override the function getAbilitySystemComponent to access to it. Also, as you can see, in the WarriorBaseCharacter, that is the main class of the character of our warrior, our Kratos, we also use the interface PawnCombatInterface. Why? Because we want to use the method getPawnCombatComponent. So as we all know from before, because we have the WarriorBaseCharacter and we have the override method of the interface PawnCombatComponentInterface, we are going to use it also in the childs. So we have the getPawnCombatComponent override method in the enemy character and also on the hero character. So we're going to talk a little about this. In the WarriorHero character, as you can see in the .h, we have the override method getPawnCombatComponent, and also we have a component that is the hero combat component. This hero combat component is going to be made on the constructor here, and once it's made, we are gonna return it in the override method of the getPawnCombatComponent. This also happens on the warrior enemy character. We have the override getPawnCombatComponent, and we also have, as I was talking, we have the getPawnCombatComponent override method, and we also have the hero combat component. So on the constructor, we have the hero combat component created, and we also have the method that returns the hero combat component. Okay, and at last we have these force inline methods on the WarriorHero character, that it's the get hero combat component, and on the warrior enemy character. Okay, this part of the video, at first I'm going to talk about the animation notify state, named toggle weapon collision. Later I'm going to explain why we are using this, okay? This animation notify state has two override functions that are receive notify begin and receive notify end. And another parameter that is the e-toggle damage type enum, that by default is going to have a value of current equipped weapon. It can be left hand, right hand, or current equipped weapon. The first method, the receive notify begin, is going to make a thing when the notify starts. Okay, so at first we're gonna get the owner, we're gonna get the PawnCombatComponent from actor. Later I'm going to explain where this function comes from, and if it's valid, the get PawnCombatComponent from actor, we're gonna make the method toggle weapon collision. Okay, with the PawnCombatComponent from actor as target, and we're gonna put the parameter should enable as true. And the toggle damage type, we're gonna pass it by parameter with the current equipped weapon as value, and that's it. So many questions from here. The first one, the get PawnCombat component from actor. This get PawnCombat component from actor is a blueprint function that we can use just right here. The BP get PawnCombat component from actor. It's blueprint callable, and it's called get PawnCombat component from actor. Okay, and it's going to have an outValid type. So this method is going to have two parameters, that is an actor and a eWarriorValid type. Okay, so an enum that is going to have a reference of the value. So this is the method. We're just going to look for the combat component, and if we have it or not, we're going to answer with a valid or invalid, and we're gonna return it. After this, I'm going to explain that the WarriorValid type, it's a type of enum from the class WarriorEnumTypes. So it's going to have a valid or an invalid. Also, After that, we are going to go to the toggle weapon collision. This toggle weapon collision, we can access it because we have accessed it, if it's valid, to the PawnCombat component. Okay? This PawnCombat component has many methods, but the one we're going to talk right now is the toggle weapon collision. This method is blueprint callable and it has many parameters like a should enable, a bool should enable, and another one that is the e-toggle damage type that by default is going to be the current equipped weapon. So this method, I'm going to put it a little bigger. This method is going to ask with an if the toggle damage type we have is the current equipped weapon. If it's true, we're going to ask for the weapon, the current equipped weapon, okay, with a reference of a Warrior weapon base. We're gonna check if this is not null, and after that we're going to check the bool parameter be_should_enable. If it's true, the thing we're gonna make is to activate the physics and the collisions of the weapon, okay, changing the collisions enable with the collisions enable query only. And if we are not unable to use it, we're just gonna put the no collision. Also, there's another little thing that we're not using right now, but to a future, when we are attacking with a player and there's more than one enemy, we can make damage to more than one enemy with the overlap actors array. Okay, so from now on, when we don't have collision, we just put empty this array. That's it. I didn't tell you the received notify end, but it's the same. Once the notify has ended, we just have to call the same methods, the get PawnCombat component from actor, and if it's valid, we toggle the weapon collision, but we put to false the be_should_enable. So there's no collision right now on the weapon. Okay, so in this part of the video, I'm going to explain with the method toggle weapon collision why it's useful with the notify begin and the notify end. This toggle weapon collision and the should enable or the should enable true or false, if we go to the writer onto the PawnCombat component.cpp in this method, the toggle weapon collision, it's going to depend on the value of be_should_enable. And if we make this e-collision enable query only or e-collision enable no collision, is going to change the collision presets of our axe, that is the weapon of the player. Okay, this BP hero axe can change its collision presets. So between no collisions and custom or overlap all is going to affect if this weapon has physics or not. So if it has physics, what we're going to use is the warrior weapon base. In this case we have the WarriorHero weapon, but the main functionality is on the general class, that is the warrior weapon base. So here we're going to have some functions that are going to be the on collision box begin overlap and on collision box end overlap. And why these functions? Because here when we create the constructor, we have make that on component begin overlap, we have added the method on collision box begin overlap, and on the component end overlap, we have added the method on collision box end overlap. So we are going to use these two functions. So when the axe touches anything, the on component begin overlap, we're going to make this method, and when the axe gets out of the overlapping, we're going to make the method on collision box end overlap. So on the first method, on collision box begin overlap, at first we're going to get the instigator, that is the actor that owns the weapon, so the player. Okay, weapon owning pawn. When we get this, we are going to get if it's correct, and if the weapon owning pawn it's not null. And if we have this, what we're going to do is to check if it exists the hit pawn, in this case the enemy, if there's any enemy or anything that is touching with the weapon. If it's true and the hit pawn is different than the player, so we are hitting something, we are going to execute something. So what is this? Okay, I'm now going to explain. To explain this, I have to tell you that on the warrior weapon base we have declared a delegate with one parameter, that is f_on_target_interactive delegate. Okay, so this delegate, what is going to have is two variables that are going to be onWeaponHitTarget and onWeaponPulled-from-Target. So these delegates can have methods that can subscribe to them or to be removed. So the hitTarget is going to be activated, this delegate, and the methods that are subscribed to this delegate only on collision box begin overlap when we make this. Okay, so we're going to execute if bound the methods that are subscribed to the onWeaponHitTarget, and it's going to happen the same in the onCollision box and overlap. So when the weapon finishes the overlapping, when it has finished the attack, but we are going to make the other variable, the onWeaponPulled-from-Target. So we're going to execute the methods that are subscribed to this delegate. So you are going to be asking, what are the methods that are subscribed to the delegate? In the delegate that are going to be used in the onComponent begin overlap, and the delegate that is going to be used on the onComponent end overlap. So the method that is going to be subscribed to the onComponent begin overlap is going to be the onHitTargetActor. Okay, this onHitTargetActor is a method that we are going to have on the PawnCombat component. Okay, this one, onHitTargetActor. And also we have the method that is going to be subscribed to the onComponent end overlap, that is the onWeaponPulled-from-Target-Actor. Okay, both of them are going to have a parameter that is an actor, the hit actor or the interacted actor. So these ones on the PawnCombat component, we are going to subscribe them in the constructor of the PawnCombat component. Here, we're going to add the methods to bind them. So we're going to call the inWeaponToRegister, that is going to be the axe by default, and we're going to bind these methods. Okay, so when we make the executive bound, these methods are going to be made. Knowing this, and knowing that these methods are virtual, we can go to the hero combat component that is the child. So we go to the hero combat component and we can override these two methods, the onHitTargetActor and onWeaponPulled-from-Target-Actor. So we're going to start explaining the logic of this. The first, onHitTargetActor. This method, what it's going to make, is going to use the overlap actors array that we had on the PawnCombat component. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna make is to check if we have any actor, and if it has the hit actor, that is the actor that we have hit it with the axe. Okay, and if it doesn't have it, so we return it and we don't do anything. So after this, what we're going to the normal thing is that it doesn't contain it. Okay, this is to repeat double hits. So once we have it, we don't have it, we're going to add it to the array. Okay, after this, we're going to create an fGameplay event data that is a structure that stores event informations. After creating it, we are going to add the instigator to the data, that is the actor that caused the event, so in this case the hero, the warrior, and we're going to add the target to the data, that is the actor that was hit. Okay, and after this, we're going to send a gameplay event using the guess, okay, that a melee hit had occurred. This is difficult. So we're going to create a send gameplay event to actor using this fGameplay event data that we have used. That has the get owning pawn, the warrior gameplay tags, that is going to be the third event melee hit, that is a new gameplay tag that we have created, and we're gonna send this data. Okay, so we know the hit actor and the pawn that caused the hit, that is the player. Making a resume of all of this to understand it. At first, we have the BP hero axe with a collision, okay? This collision is with no collision at first. So we're going to use the animation notify state toggle weapon collision, and with this method, the toggle weapon collision, at first on the notify begin, we're going to enable this method and the physics, okay, of the BP hero axe, and we're going to add the collision presets to custom and to query, so it can affect the overlap. Okay, after this, what we are going to do, we are going to make the onCollision box begin overlap, and we're going to execute the delegate, the onWeaponHitTarget. After this, the hero combat component method, that is onHitTargetActor, that is the method subscribed to the delegate, is going to be made. Okay, and we're going to send a gameplay event to actor, and we're gonna know after what happens when we send this gameplay event to actor. After this finishes on the notify end, we're just going to toggle the weapon collision. We disable the method should enable is going to be false, and again what is going to happen is that we are going to take out the physics of the weapon with no collision. Okay, perfect. Let's continue. Okay, so we're talking about the hero combat component when we send the gameplay event to the actor. To what actor? So we're going to send it to the player, the owning pawn of the weapon, that is the player. So it's going to be used here on the gameplay ability hero light attack master. So we have changed this a little. I'm going to explain it. So when we play the montage and wait, we were making a sequence, and we were making before this, that is the one that has a condition, and after that we make three things. So before this we have added a wait gameplay event from the onHitTarget actor of the hero combat component. So we are going to make the method wait gameplay event with what event tag? This one, that is going to be the serve event melee hit. Okay, once the event is received, what we're going to make is we're going to print the string that is going to be the hitting, the target that we are hitting with light attack, and the current combo count, okay? And this value variable that I'm going to talk about it right now. So as I was saying, this parameter that is called the used combo count is going to be the same variable as the current light attack combo count, okay? And it's going to have always the same value as current light attack combo count. So we're going to use it just right here to print it. Once the gameplay event, we have waited the gameplay event, and everything's correct. It just happens the same with the gameplay ability hero heavy attack master. We just reset this variable used combo count with the value of the current heavy attack combo count, and once we'll play the montage and wait, we make the first part of the sequence that is going to be wait the gameplay event with the event tag served event melee hit. We break the gameplay event data to have some data, and we have the target, and also we have the instigator. We only use the target to get the display name. So we put hitting, the target that we are hitting with heavy attack, and current combo count, and the number of current combo count that is going to be this variable, used combo count. I hope you like it. So another last thing of the previous episode that I didn't say is that here we're going to make the response to check once the player has attacked the enemy. So the enemy will reduce his life in episodes of after this one, and we will see what happened, okay? But right now we're going to talk about the animation montages. In every animation montage, we have added this, that is the animation notify state toggle weapon collision. Why? Because once this is called, here we call the animation notify state received begin notify, and here is receive notify begin and receive notify end. So this is where we use the animation notify state toggle weapon collision in each animation montages. We use in any animation montage of the light attack and heavy attack. Okay, I hope you like it. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is about the method make hero damage effect. The first thing we have to know is that the gameplay ability hero light attack master has a class settings where it puts the parent class, that is the WarriorHero gameplay ability. Okay, knowing this, we have to go to Rider. And on the WarriorHero gameplay ability, we have a method that is a make hero damage effect. Okay, so this method that is the make hero damage effect, it's of type gameplay effect. So we're gonna check the CPP. The make hero damage effect has some parameters like a subclass that is a gameplay effect that is going to be called effect class, another float that is going to be in weapon based damage, a tag that is going to be the in current attack type tag, and a used combo count. So the first thing we're gonna check is if this effect class that is going to be a gameplay effect is going to be useful. So why this? At first, why these parameters? If we go to Unreal, we can see that these parameters are the effect class, the weapon-based damage, the current attack type tag, and used combo count. So at first, what we're going to make is to create a gameplay effect context handle, okay? To store information about the source, target, and other metadata for the effect. At first, we're going to set the ability, that is going to be this one, okay, to the context handle. Later, we're going to add a source object that we're going to add the avatar actor, that is the character using the ability, as the source object. Also, we're going to add the instigator, that is the person that has this gameplay ability, that is the same. In this case, we have to make the instigator and in effect causer is the same one. So we put get avatar from actor info and get avatar from actor info. Also, we're going to create an effect spec handle for the specified effect class, okay? So we're going here to create the gameplay effect, and it's going to be called effect spec handle. Here we're going to use the context handle, okay? So we're going to use the effect class to instantiate the level of the ability, which may scale, and the context handle. Once we have this, we can allow to set a dynamic value for the gameplay effect using a tag as the identifier, like a T-map. So we're going to set by color magnitude, and we're going to make. So we're going to use the Warrior gameplay tag set by color base damage in weapon base damage. Okay, so it's the value to assign to this tag. And if this tag exists, what we're going to make is that we are going to make the effect spec handle data, and we're going to create for this tag the dynamic value. And we're going to return this gameplay effect called effect spec handle. So we go to Unreal, and now we can use this method. The first thing is the effect class, okay? To this effect class, we have to create a gameplay effect, that in this case is going to be cert deal. So we are going to go to the gameplay effect cert deal damage. This gameplay effect is going to have, in the gameplay effect part, in executions, a calculation class. Okay, so for this calculation, we're going to create another gameplay effect that is going to be called execCalc damage taken. So we go here. So to check that we can use this gameplay effect execCalculation damage taken, what we are going to do is to create a class that is going to be this one. So once we have this, we can use the gameplay effect cert deal damage. So in next episodes, we will see where do we use the gameplay effect cert deal damage. Maybe we can use it just right here in the data asset hero on the startup gameplay effects. We will check it out. But right now, I'm going to talk at last in the BP Hero X. We have created a part that is the weapon based damage. Okay, that is right here on the Warrior Strike type on the WarriorHero weapon data. We have created an F scalable float weapon based damage. This weapon based damage is going to have a 1 and is going to use the curve table hero weapon stats. These hero weapon stats are going to have a value that is the hero X base damage, that is going to be the first level 12, second level 14, 17, and 20. And yeah, so here is going to be used. And that's it. For the moment, it's not linked to anything, but it's here on the gameplay ability hero light attack master and heavy attack master. We'll check it out on the next episode. I'm going to make a fast resume or update of what we are making, because this is going to be a difficult video to explain. So we activate the weapon, pressing 1, and with the light attack, as you can see, when we are near of the enemy, we attack, pressing left click, and the enemy has, as you can see, I activate the left click, and the enemy has perceived my attack. And if I activate the right click, also it has perceived my attack with a hitting BP Grand Feeling Guardian with heavy attack, current combo count 1. And if we attack 2 times with the left click, the light attack, it knows exactly what combo count we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's also going to store this combo count on the heavy attack, and is perceiving the attack too. Okay, That's it.